welcome to the video. Today we're going to play another round of Esper Tinker. This is my current favorite deck in the vintage format, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So today we're going to run it through a league. Notable changes since the last video, I have added the fourth Bowmaster. Bowmaster has impressed me. I like it. Yeah, I think they're better in multiples. The more you have, the better it is. I cut the Sphinx from the main deck and added the fourth Bowmaster. So that was the change that I made. Other notable changes, the sideboard. I added 2 of the Dauntless Dismantlers. This card is very good, very strong in particular matchups. It's strong in the vintage format in general for sure, but it definitely shines against opposing Urza Saga decks, and every deck is pretty much like a fast artifact deck unless you're Bazaar. So it has play in every matchup for sure, but I want to try it out of the sideboard instead and just see how it goes, because this is a card that I've tried in mono white initiative and blue white Tinker. So I've tested this card a lot. I like it a lot. I'm gonna try it out of the sideboard because I just think it's not a main deck card for me personally. In this build, we're really just trying to Time Twister, Hullbreacher, and or Bowmaster and Op Agent and Tinker and all that stuff. So he's more for the aggressive builds. I would say they're really trying to stifle your development with your artifacts entering tapped. But I do think this card is phenomenal. I wouldn't fault anybody for playing Dauntless in the main deck. And to get him into the sideboard, we cut, I believe, a Containment Priest. So we're down to 2. I think Oath is on the decline. I haven't really seen too much Oath. I'm sort of haven't run into it a lot, so I'm gonna take a priest out, and I took out the Cathar, the Commando. I do like Cathar Commando, but this is just I think this card is stronger than Cathar. It doesn't have the flash. It has the same CMC, and the effect of its destroying all the artifacts is very, very strong. All right, welcome to round 1. We're playing against Almana 3. Okay, this is a username I don't recognize, so let's see what they're on today. I apologize in advance. I actually recorded this video on 2 separate computers, so there might be some weird things going on with the sizing of the monitor, resolution, sizing of the cards, maybe some volume issues, but I'm still trying to work out the kinks, see what the best workflow is. I play matches on different computers, so some of my gameplay videos are on different hard drives, so unfortunately Magic Online, it only stores it on your local hard drive. So yeah, is what it is. Let's just get into the league here and see how it goes. So alright, I believe, I don't have the game notes on the recording, so I can't see who won the die roll. I believe I won the die roll. Okay, so alright, so interesting to note, our opponent did reveal a Lutri out of the companion zone, which is very odd. That card doesn't see hardly any vintage play, probably close to 0, so they're definitely on a brew for sure. Our opening hand is just a turn 1 Bowmaster. This video, I'm very into Bowmaster. I'm trying it out. I'm enjoying it. I wasn't super into the Bowmaster thinking it was strong or whatever. I still don't think it's super duper strong, but it's definitely a fun card to play. I enjoy it. 2 mana is very cheap. The effect is very strong, making 2 bodies, punishing card draw, not eliminating card draw, but definitely punishing it. So it's definitely been a sweet card. I'm happy to play the play set now instead of just the 3. So opponent just goes Urza Saga Black Lotus pass. Not sure what that means. But with Lutri, you can only play one copy of every non-land card in your deck. So their card options are going to be limited because they are not in multiples. So, all right, so we're going to try to jam this. Okay, so we tried to top. They just denied it with the misstep, which is fine. I don't think that's a super big deal. We were able to get another land. They're going to recall. I think we fight over this. Yeah, we try to fight over it. And they have a fluster off the Lotus mana. So they're going to resolve this Ancestral. Our Bowmaster will ping them a few times, and our token will get a little bit bigger. But I'm not particularly sure. I think this opponent, they are just having fun on a Friday. Just playing a interesting, fun deck, which I don't blame them. Alright, our Bowmaster is getting a little bit bigger. Or excuse me, our token. Our Bowmaster is doing the pinging. But our opponent is on 4 cards. We're only on 1. We just have the Hullbreacher. Notable, Hullbreacher and Bowmaster are kind of a nombo because the Hullbreacher prevents the draw, so you never get your pings. But I'm honestly fine with that. I'd rather them not have the card draw and I not get the pings, because the pings you can fight through for sure. So opponent is Caracas Pass. Alright. We're finally taking some damage off our Mana Crypt here. Drawing a land, not really what I want to see, but that's fine. We still have our Hullbreacher. They have 4 cards. Their mana situation is awkward because they cannot make a token, and they don't have any blue mana on board, at least. So I'm not really sure what they're doing. They're already down to 7. Alright, so they're going to float one off this Saga and go searching. I've contemplated going up on the what's the, no, I can't even remember the name of the card. What is it called? The Op Agent. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot the name. Yeah, the Op Agent. I've contemplated going up on the Op Agent because of so many Urza Saga running around right now. Alright, so our opponent is just Yogg willing. For what? I don't know. Okay, they just scoop. I'm not really sure what they were. I mean, obviously you can Lotus, Ancestral with Fluster back up here. I'm not really sure what happened here. This is very strange. They just Yogg-willed and scooped. So, I don't know. All right. Going to game 2. All right, we're back here in game 2 versus a Lutri deck. Opponent is on the play. Last game they showed us the Yogg-will and then scooped. So I honestly think if you're, I don't know if I'd even show the Yogg-will because now I'm going to keep the cage in. So it looks like we didn't like our opening hand. Our second opening hand, I'm just going to pause. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so we just have Force and essentially 3 lands. So, all right, opponent goes Jet into a Duress. Let's see what they take. They took a Lorien Revealed into a Black Lotus, cracking the fetch. Into, what is this? Snapcaster, Snap Duress. Okay, so they're going Duress, Snap Duress. I imagine they're probably taking the Lorien. That's probably what I would take, because then you're really messing up our mana situation. Definitely relying on those for our mana, but it seems the Moto bug is active, and we drew our other Lorien Revealed, so their Duresses really just did not do anything. So they'll probably be a little tilted once they see we cycle this, so we're just going to hold it up for Force in case they do anything scary. 3 mana. Okay, so they put Lutri in their hand, attack with their Snapcaster Mage. And we're just going to cycle this and give them some psychic damage. So we grab the Underground so we can Bowmaster and ping this guy. And we drew our Tundra, so our mana situation is much better. They force our Bowmaster, which we can't fight over. They pitch their Lutri, so their Lutri's not really doing anything in our match, which is kind of upsetting. I kind of wanted to see it do something cool. Alright, so now they got their Saga going, and that's alright. We have the answer to the Saga in our hands, so I'm not worried about it. I usually let the chapters go down and just try to sweep up all the tokens afterwards. So they're going to get their 2 tokens. We don't have the second white source to activate the Dauntless ability, which is relevant in this deck for sure. Oh, one other thing, I did make a swap. I forgot to mention in the deck tech. I did add a 3rd Tundra and took out the 4th Underground. So now I'm on 3-3 split of dual lands. I was having some mana issues with the Tundras, so they're going to Thoughtseize our force here. I have had issues with only having 2 Tundras, so going to 3-3 split's a lot better, especially post board, because we are actually kind of reliant on our white mana a lot. So adding the 3rd Tundra definitely helps. So we're going to get attacked by their construct. We draw our own Saga, which is excellent. And I believe at this point, I think I wait until combat to pop the Dauntless, just to see if I can maybe get another artifact. Maybe they'll forget about it. Maybe they'll play into trying to make their tokens bigger. I don't know. I waited. I gave them a free mana and a free spin, essentially. Okay, so they spun into a recall. And they drop a land. So they attack. I definitely pop here. Alright, so sweeping up the tokens. They're spinning in response. Okay. They're drawing in response. And they fetched away their top. Okay. So what was better than having a top in play? Okay, Bob's good for sure. I don't know if you necessarily had to fetch your top away, but all right, so we draw Force of Will, and our Saga goes to 2. So now we have Saga activation up. We have Force of Will, Hardcast up, and we just pass. Opponent's definitely in the driver's seat, I would say. They revealed Time Walk off Bob. They definitely have... Alright, so now they have the Time Walk, so they essentially have 8 damage on board. I'm going to try to make a token here, I think, and block, because this Bob is a problem, especially with a Time Walk. Yeah, so activate, make a token. Definitely going to block the Bob, obviously. Oh, they got something. Repeal. Alright, so Repeal's very good. Alright, so they're going to smack us for 4 and then 8, because this Time Walk's going to resolve. And Brainstorm. Alright, so they're cooking. They're definitely in the driver's seat here if they can close it out. Bob's probably going to reveal a land or a Moxen. Let's see. Moxen, yeah, so they set up their Brainstorm correctly. And follow up. Demonic Tutor. Okay, so what are they tutoring for? They tutor for Dig. Okay. Dig's good for sure. Wonder what they're looking for. Maybe another Saga. Because Yeah, maybe some more card draw, maybe another threat. All right, so they're gonna attack us for 4 more. We're at 4. What do they have? And they drop Lavinia. All right, that's fine. So they're definitely, we're dead on board. We can make a third. Oh. So we draw Time Vault and just win. Okay, if they don't counter this, we win. Yeah, we won. All right, round 2, and our opponent is Eric. Eric, notable Doomsday pilot. I actually met Eric on my recent trip to Japan when we played in Eternal Weekend together, and it was a blast. Eternal Weekend overseas was definitely an amazing experience. I'm really happy I was able to go. Met a lot of great people, a lot of great players, played a lot of matches, went to Harayuya. It was just overall a awesome experience, and I'm really glad I was able to go. But I don't know what Eric's on today. Let's see. He's been playing a lot of shops recently, so I'm assuming he's on shop still because he's actually had a lot of success with that deck. So, all right, our opening hand is broken, and we just do the thing. And we're gonna, okay, so we untap our Mox Sapphire, everything resolves. So, and yeah, they're on shops with the workshop. I was thinking about forcing this, but nah, whatever. Just let them have it. I'd rather try to force what I was trying to do. I'm not, obviously shops doesn't play Force of Will, but so I got a Tinker, and then I just Tinker, easy win here. That my hand was insane. It was just I mean, there's nothing else to say. Just amazing hand. On to the next game. All right, here we are, game 2 versus Eric. Eric is going to be on the play after my absurd opening hand in game 1. We were able to get him easy peasy turn 2 with the Tinker, so let's see. I definitely took out all that Vault Key stuff against shops because they play the Null Rod's main deck. So, all right, so our opening hand has a Dismantler and an Op Agent. All right, so Erica Saga Mox into a Patchwork. All right, so this is kind of scary. We don't have any removal in our opening hand. They have a Saga going. We do have the answer with the Dismantler. We draw Wasteland as well. So we just... Okay. Not sure why I didn't Wasteland here. Probably could have just dealt with that. So they Null Rod as expected, and we're just going to flash in the Op Agent here. And the Op Agent can get whatever there is in their deck for this Saga. And Eric just scoops it up. Yeah, they were kind of in a bad place here. They were going to lose their Saga. I'm assuming they did not have a second land, and they were kind of riding this Patchwork to a victory. I could block it with Dauntless, so makes sense. All right, round 3. Our opponent is Canel. I don't recognize that username, but it seems like we mulliganed our opening hand, and we lost the die roll, so we're on the play. So our opening hand doesn't have any black mana in it, which is troublesome. So our opponent just Mox, Brainstorm, Fetch, Pass. We're just gonna jam this Lavinia, see if it resolves. They fetch in response. Mystical in response, and Lavinia is good. Yeah, not having a Underground or a Jet. All right, so they're gonna recall, pass. One thing to note, this Underground Sea art, I don't know why, but for anyone that plays Magic Online, whenever I see this art, that specific art for Underground Sea, I just think they're on Doomsday. Doesn't matter. Whenever they play that turn 1 or something, I'm like, oh, okay. Just seems like all Doomsday players just play that art. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure they're on Doomsday. Okay, so they have the 3rd land, so they can They can Doomsday here, and they can do so freely because we have no interaction. We have no black mana, so they Doomsday, make the pile. They have 4 cards in hand. I think we're cooked here. There's nothing we can do. If we would have been able to draw our one of Strip Mine, we could have bought a turn. Okay, so they pass actually. Okay, so we have Hardcast Force Up, which isn't nothing, but it's not the best. So we're just gonna counter the first thing they try to do. Okay. I don't really know what just happened there. It looks... Wait, what? I have no idea what just happened. It looked like they tried to cast Thassa, and then it got countered. Alright, so we're back here. This is round 3. I don't remember exactly what happened with our last match. I think there's some bug or an issue with some of the replay software, and it's not playing out the exact match as it took place live. But based off my memory, I believe they Ancestral Recalled. I tried to force. They had an answer for my force, and then they just Thassa won. I didn't have anything else, obviously, because my hand just had the 2 spells that were uncastable. So they did win that game, but the replay system just looked kind of buggy, and I don't know. It looked like they tried to cast Thassa Oracle as a spell or something, or not a spell, but a sorcery, an instant, and it just count. I don't know. There was an issue with the replay. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I'm pretty sure they did win that game. I don't remember the exact, but on to the next one. We'll just try to see what happens here. All right, so we're on the play. We keep our opening hand. This hand is kind of medium for sure. I'm not sure why we kept it. It's kind of bad, I guess, on the strength of Lavinia and Strip Mine, but we can't even cast Lavinia. The Null Rod's good. I like to bring in Null Rod against these Doomsday decks just to try to slow them down. So drawing the Lotus obviously helps for sure, because now we can cast Lavinia. So we make a token and cast Lavinia. I think in hindsight on that turn cycle, I definitely should have cast Lavinia first and then made the token, because Doomsday does play Daze. So they can cut down our Lavinia. We have the misstep, so... Alright. And then they ponder. So... But yeah, that last match, that was weird. There were some weird gameplay issues there on the end. Not sure what happened. Alright, so our Saga pops off. We grab a Soul Ring, jam our top, find a blue card, and then I think we just slam this Null Rod. Yeah, Strip Mine the black source, and then just... Hopefully this is good enough. This is all we got. So, we do have Force Blue card. We have a top. We're going to draw next turn. That'll add some damage to our construct. So I fight over the recall. They cycle in response. Okay, so recall gets countered. We're going to draw our top, which is useless, but it adds a little bit of damage for our token. All right, this is 6. They go to 5. They're dead on board, and they scoop it up. All right, on to game 3. All right, game 3. Opponent is on the play. It looks like we both kept 7 here. Our hand is Recall, Spell Pierce, Bowmaster. Okay, I mean, I see why we kept it, but we don't have any forces. So if they go off turn 1, we're dead. All right, so they probe us. They see our hand. So they know everything, but they don't know about this force we just drew, which is very good for us. Yeah, so we just let that resolve. We're not going to fight over that. We can't fight over that. I'm not sure what we play next. If it's Bowmaster or the Dauntless. We drew the Vamp. Alright, so we're keeping up a lot of interaction here. We have Spell Pierce, Vamp, Bowmaster. Alright, opponent does have 3 lands, so they are drawing quite a lot of lands. So it looks like we Bowmaster. Just trying to pressure their life total here. Vamp in the upkeep. What do we grab here? Oh, they cut down in the upkeep. Oh, we get the Lavinia. Okay, that's fine. So Lavinia did work last game, so we're going to try to get her going here. But they do have 3 lands, so Lavinia is not really... Okay, another cut down, so they do care about Lavinia. Alright, they're Doomsdaying. I'm going to fight over this. They fight back. Alright, Doomsday is going to resolve. They have 0 cards in hand, so they're going to pass the turn. So, the Dauntless may help with a pass the turn pile. We'll see. We'll see what we draw here. Because if they try to spit out some artifacts, Dauntless will slow that down. Alright, so we drew the Hullbreacher. Yeah, Hullbreacher is definitely the best card in our deck to draw, like, without a doubt. Not even close. Just, we have lethal on board. They can't draw any extra cards. So, yeah, that was clearly the best draw. Very, very good draw. So, got that one. Alright, go into round 4 next. Up against a username I do not recognize. Looks like we did take a mulligan. So we don't have any counter spells in our opening hand. Okay, Chrome Mox, so they're playing mono white. And they turn 1 Trinisphere. Okay. Turn 1 Trinisphere. Cool. Alright, so whenever an opponent turn 1 Trinispheres off a soul land, and I have a strip mine or a wasteland, I'm going to try to force them to have it. And if I remember correctly, this opponent did have it, because Trinisphere creates a really awkward situation, so they did have the 3rd land, where you can jam a Trinisphere, but it doesn't necessarily always win the game, because if they wasteland you, they can just wasteland you off so you can just lose off your own Trinisphere, which happens. But unfortunately, they did have the additional land drops, so they're going to be able to keep progressing. We're super dead here. I don't think there's any way we win this game. But we do have our 3rd land, and I think the Dauntless, or excuse me, not Dauntless, the Peacekeeper, it's gonna... Yeah, so they Peacekeeper on Time Twister. I don't think it mattered what they named. I think we were dead. I probably would have named the creature, because I have 2 Hullbreachers. Because that would... Wow, they just have lands forever. What do they have here? Dungeoneer, and I scoop. Yeah, the Dungeoneer is definitely the nail in the coffin for sure, but with the Peacekeeper, I probably would have named the Hullbreacher, because that's my only way to get out of this game, is to just block. That might have been... I guess they were too busy thinking... Maybe they already had the Dungeoneer, maybe they knew it didn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, game 2. Alright, game 2 against Mono White Initiative, and we're on the play. Our opening hand has the portal. I am not sure why I kept this hand. Not sure why. Having portal in your opening hand is not good. We need to figure out a way to get portal back into our deck. So they turn 1, they're Dauntless. Okay. I upkeep for a recall just to try to dig out of this, and I draw nothing. Okay. Their start wasn't super fast with an initiative guy, so I think we're okay here. And they just pop the... Okay, so that was kind of weird. They must have all removal in their hand, because they just popped the guy on 1, but top is I could have drawn, and when they activated it, I just assumed they were gonna do it for 0 to pop my Sapphire, but they did it for 1, and I should have read the game log, but I didn't, and so I lost my top, and I didn't need to, because I could have just drawn, but nah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. All right, so we Demonic Tutor for a land and pass. We have all our mana here, and they have another, so they're on Mono Dauntless here. No initiative creature is excellent for us, so we're just gonna get Bowmaster in. Bowmaster is amazing against initiative deck too. It really helps steal it. So we're gonna Demonic Tutor. What do we grab here? Okay, so we grab the Brainstorm. Yeah, so we're grabbing the Brainstorm. So that was a great opportunity to grab the Brainstorm, because it's gonna get the Portal back in our deck, and we have Lorien Reveal for a shuffle. So as long as we don't draw the Portal again, I think we're pretty locked in. And the way I approach this matchup is I like to let them, so they got their Dungeoneer. See, this is perfect. Even if I could have countered this, I wouldn't have. I would have just let them have their Dungeoneer, because I'm going to Portal next turn. And I like to... Oh, wow. Okay, so this is going to be a full value Portal. So I have to cycle. So this turn sequence, because Thalia is in play, I'm going to have to pay 3 mana for a Time Walk and then 4 mana for a Tinker, but I don't mind doing that, obviously, because it's going to completely wipe their board. And that's what we're going to do, as long as we don't draw the Portal. Okay, we don't draw the Portal. And we're going to Tinker for Portal, completely wipe their board. So just to talk about what I was saying before is I like to, even if I could counter some of their creatures, I just let them resolve, because I'm going to want creatures in the graveyard when I Portal. And I'd like to save my counter spells for other stuff, like their removal spells on their own guys post-Portal. Notable, the Portal entered tapped. Alright, so they have Archon. They're so dead here, though. Portal just instantly wins against mono white initiative, because you just steal their guys out of their graveyard, and it's just it's pretty much over at that point. So that's definitely my post-board plan against this deck, is just Tinker for Portal. Tinker for Sphinx is bad just because they play Solitude, and sometimes they play Swords. So we definitely... Alright, so they're done here. So that was just that was just as we draw it up, just Portal immediately and then carry on. Alright, round 4, game 3, we're on the draw. Our opening hand has an Urza Saga. So the key card is the Tinker. Even if I didn't have this recall, I think I probably would have kept this hand just based off Tinker. So opponent is turn 1 Thalia go. So interesting to note, against mono white too, whenever they lead on a white source like a Petal or a Chromox, I always think about it for a second. I'm like, should I force this? Because usually that's their only white source. And it's probably never wrong to counter that. Like, countering Force of Willing that Petal is probably 100% fine. Alright, let's see what they got here. Thalia is kind of a pain, but we're able to cycle this Lorien Revealed. And they are... Oh, they're just Ancient Tomb Pass. Okay. That's good for us. Okay, so now they have the Plains. What's this? Seasoned Dungeoneer, uncounterable too. Okay. I probably would have countered that if I could. I know I say I like to let some of their stuff resolve, but I think it was I think it was okay if I could have. So we end step recall just to see what's going on. We have a million cards in our hand. What do we do here? Okay, so we just played out the Needle just to have an artifact to Tinker. And then we're just going to slam the Portal, and it's pretty much GG at this point. I would have liked to wait on the Portal, maybe a turn. But, wow, they're just land nothing. Okay, so... Alright, so we're going to grab their Seasoned Dungeoneer. We're going to take the initiative. And I think once it gets to this point, it's pretty much over, obviously. We have 7 cards in hand. Yeah, we're looking good here. What do they have here? Their own Seasoned Dungeoneer, uncounterable, excuse me. They're gonna make a token off the stash. Alright, so they got a guy for sure. Alright, so they try to swords my Seasoned Dungeoneer, but I had the force for that. I'm gonna put the Bowmaster into play. So interesting, I didn't realize this before, but Portal is not a May. Portal is not a May. So if there's a creature in the graveyard, you must reanimate it. You do not have a choice. You have to take it, because I mean, I really wouldn't like to have a Thalia in play, but it's another creature for me. I'm not going to complain, and I put some counters on it, so it's a big first striker. But I didn't realize that. That's never come up for me before in all the games I've played. All right, so we get the GG in the chat. Yeah, they're gonna make their skeleton token, play another Thalia. We're gonna put a Hullbreacher, yeah, and they scoop here. All right, so just a really good example of how amazing Portal is against this deck. It's just a one-card win condition against them, because you just clear their board and then reanimate their guys every turn, and hopefully you're getting a initiative creature out of it, which really helps against them. But Mono White is a very strong deck. I don't play it. I test with it just to learn the deck, but the deck mulligans very low, and there's no card draw in the deck. It's pretty much very linear, but it is linear and it is very, very strong. If they have a good opening hand, a 6-7 card hand, you're probably not going to win, especially if they're on the play, because they have caverns. Uncounterable Archon is a huge deal. But yeah, our opponent just, put their guys in play. We killed him, we reanimated him, and now we're going to go for the 5-0. All right. This is round 5. We are playing for a trophy, which I did forget about. So we're going to play against Punishing Waterfalls. Notable streamer, Magic player. They're always on some crazy brew. So let's see what they're up to today. So Underground Preordain, they're playing Doomsday. So our hand is not very good for Doomsday. Let's see. So that turn, I led with the strip mine, because I was always going to strip mine them, but I just wanted to play around Daze with the Git Probe just so I could see what's in their hand and, see what's going on. So they cycle. They duress me. Okay, so duress main deck is, I don't know how common that is in Doomsday these days, duress main deck, but they got it. So I misstep it because they're going to take the Brainstorm, and I'd rather take the misstep instead. Okay, so at this point, we have Brainstorm, we have Spell Pierce, we have nothing else. We have really nothing else going on. And neither do they, so that's good for us. I end step Brainstorm, which in hindsight is definitely a mistake, because now I don't have blue up. And I think this was this is probably what did me in here, because I do remember, I don't think I win this game. They dig in response, which is probably winning for them, and I that Brainstorm was so bad. I should have waited on my turn, but I was just trying to be mana efficient. Wow, there's every Preordain. All right, so Lotus, I'm gonna try to Spell Pierce this. Okay, so they fight back. They pitch an Oracle, but I'm pretty sure they play 2, and they Necropotence. Okay, so Necropotence, they're gonna pay all the life, draw all the cards. Necropotence is really good. It's like a 1-of, I believe, in the Doomsday deck. I don't even know what I tinker for here. Nothing here wins, because they're going to probably win on their next turn. Okay, so I try to tinker. They just force a bullet. They don't want anything to do with it. I think what I would have grabbed is probably Needle. I probably would have grabbed Needle just to name Necropotence in case they whiffed on that first, on those first activations. All right, so they DT. Okay, so so they're just doing the thing. Demonic Tutor, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and they have 2 cards in hand, so we might be dead here. I don't know if they have to pass the turn. Okay, so they are activating. Okay, oh wow, so this is kind of cool actually. So they're able to clear off their library with the Necropotence. Oh no, they do pass the turn. Oh, I wonder why I scooped here. They did pass the turn. Oh, because I drew the Mana Crypt. Yeah. We are playing for a trophy. So we are 4-0 currently in this league, I remember. All right, so we're just gonna. All right, so our opening hand, I think this hand's fine. We have Recall, Bowmaster, and a Fragmentize if they throw out a Moxen and pass. Let's see. So this turn we can either Recall or Bowmaster. Bowmaster's like kind of medium, kind of okay against them. Let's see what they do. So they turn into a cycle. So the cycle, I'm immediately going to try to Bowmaster here, just to start getting the damage on, because we're definitely racing here. All right, so let's see. Okay, so interesting, they go to their second main phase. And Dark Ritual into Doomsday. Okay, so we have nothing here. We're just kind of... Let's see. They have 4 cards. Let's see, and a blue mana. All right, so they're stacking it up. They're cycling. Looks like they're going for it here. They recall. They're at... Okay, so that's 3 damage. What do they have? Loaded. Okay, wow. Okay, well, that ends that. So, okay, so Doomsday winning on turn 1. So that's kind of wild. So we had the Bowmaster in play. We got them to 1 life with all the card draw they did, but still, 1 is not 0. And unfortunately, we missed out on our trophy, but we had some good games, and it was a fun league for sure, playing our Esper deck. So let's just take a look at the deck, go over it a little bit here. All right, so back checking out the deck. I think I like this particular build. Probably gonna keep it the same. Again, 4 Bowmasters, 4 Hullbreachers, just the full 4/4 is definitely what I want to be doing. I like the Dauntless out of the sideboard. I think that's okay. I am gonna continue with that. And everything else seems pretty okay. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, any gameplay recommendations, any card recommendations, maybe cards I should try, definitely let me know. And yeah, this has been fun. Unfortunately, we didn't get the trophy, but we still had a nice solid little 4-1 there. So all right, well, thanks for rolling with me, and I'll see you in the next one.